Actually, we don't need this. I just want to use this to illustrate to you what, is happening behind the scene. So here we don't have our previous month. So we're comparing this one to this one to this one, and, on and on. So let us actually start to write the, the formula that is going to actually help us to actually get if what is selected here is actually second month, which is February. So February now is this one. So I want us to return this particular month here. So which means this and this. So we have drop of 15.20%. You understand? So we're comparing these two months right here. So how do we do that? So first of all, I'm going to come here. So we have two options. So we have the if function, which is going to be nested if, and we have the ifs function. So work with me with the ifs function. Ifs. So the first logic right now is going to be this one here, because I'm going to have to reference that over and over again. What if I have that specific place named? You get it? Or if I don't want to have it named, I want to still use the same cell, I can actually copy this. So once I've done that, I'm going to say if it is equals to 1, I want you to return 0, which is nothing. Although after all, we're going to do something that would definitely wouldn't show anything right here. But for the starting, let's do this. So second logic is going to be if this particular same C13 is equals to I want to return this particular value right here. So if this same number, this same C13 is equals to 3, so I want to return this. So under comma again, I go into the logic for. So we paste it. Remember what we are referencing is this particular one. So here is our C13. You can see 13 here, and the column is C. If column 13, that is what you're actually saying. Column 13 is equals to 4 right now. I want you to retrieve value from here for me. So we paste again is equals to 5. Go ahead and retrieve something from here for me. So we paste again is equals to 6 now. So go right here and return something from June for me. So you paste in that one. If this is equals to 7, so we're going to retrieve something from here. So it's equals to 8. We're going to return something from here. Is equals to 9. So we are going to return something from here. So it's equals to 10. Then we're going to return something from here. Is equals to 11. Then we are going to return something from here. And finally, if it is equals to, that is going to be equals to 12. Then go ahead and return something from here. Let us close and try it and see. So now we have this. We have to quickly format it, Ctrl 1, and we do the number formatting to percentage. So let's see where we are returning something from. So we selected February and we are returning something from here. What if we select the month of December, which is going to be 12? So you can see we are returning something from here. So right now it might look like, what the heck are you doing? Is this really correct? Yes, this is exactly what you should do as well. If you look at what is going on right here, once we have nothing selected, we just have select from second month to see result. By the time we select this, what we are saying now is that we have value coming from what? We have the current value to be February, which is 8.3 million. And the value for the previous month, which is January right now, is actually 9.7. So we have it down by 15.20%. So how do we get this one? So we've just actually done this one. So how do we actually retrieve the previous month? You understand? So let us go back to our work. So I'm going to name this one percentage change. So percentage change. So here is going to be previous month. All right, for the previous month, we don't have to do too much work here. All we just have to do is to copy this one away from here. So look at my formula bar. I'm going to copy everything I have on my formula bar. So escape and come down here and paste it right here. You get it? So I'm going to double click on this. All I have to do now is just to move this one. Let it start from the top. Just move it. Just watch me. I don't have to write it over and over again. So this will definitely help me to retrieve the previous month while I have the percentage to compare the previous month with the current month on our selection. So double click and start all over again. Here you go. So we go this way. So now hit your enter key. So it is time for me to format it. I want to use this formatting currency, no extra decimal point. So we go with this. All right. Let us take, for example, what happens if I have January selected? So I have 0 when I select January. We don't want to retrieve anything. So by the time I select February right now, I'm seeing value for January. If you think that is a lie, let me highlight this and let you see what is going on. So I have February selected here. It's showing value for January here. And if you look at it now, the January value is 9.7 like this. And this is the full version of it if we don't actually format it this way. So if I select March right now, so value for March is actually this 7.9, and it's showing the previous month, which is 8.3. And if you can see what we have here, this is exactly what it is. So we are actually seeing the changes now between this particular March and February. So it's actually minus 6.88. By the time we select April, so the same thing happens. So we selected April. In April, we actually made sales of 9.7 million, but the previous month of April is actually March. So it's actually showing 7.7, which is this one right here. And the percentage change is actually 25.94 because the current month we have on selection is higher than the previous month. You can see the percentage change. So what about this? So once you've done this, the next thing to do right now is how could you get this to the dashboard? That is where the next thing comes in. So right now, I'm going to go back to my dashboard here. So here we are. I want to get this one duplicated. So move it down. So I'm going to type in here, stretch it a little bit. So previous month. So previous month. So I have to go to the top here. So I can select something like this for my previous month. So I can even make it bold. All right. So here is my previous month. So I'm going to bring it right here. So duplicate it. And here is going to be my monthly change. Or you can just use percentage change. So percentage change. So let us have this one right here. So by now, you should know what you're getting into. So we have to pick the previous month value from here. And we have to pick the percentage from here. Oh, sorry for that. An error occurred. So we go back here. So we pick up the percentage change here. So we go back to analysis now, and we can now take the slicer. So come here. So as you can see here, the slicer is working. If I deselect the slicer, so because there is nothing in selection, what happens? We end up having 0, 0 here. When we get back here right now, this is what we're going to have. So how do we actually get this corrected? We don't want to see 0 and 0 here. So this is where if condition is going to actually work. I'm going to say here, if, this is an if condition, if this one here is equals to 1, give me blank, else go ahead and run this whole function here. Then we close it, hit enter. So the same thing I've done there is what I'm going to do to this one as well. So use if inside if else. So I'm going to say if this very number here is equals to 1, definitely do nothing, don't show anything, else go ahead and run the whole function. I'm going to have to close it here. Then I hit my enter. Let's just go back to the dashboard. Now we see nothing. You get it? So what do we actually, see when something like this happened? We want to actually see a message popped out to say select from second month to see result. So I just want to come here now. I will type in here. Okay, I'm going to type in here a message. All right, so beneath this message here, I want to use the same if condition again. I'm going to say if this one here is equals to 1, then inside it, I'm going to type in select from second month to see result, else show nothing. Here we go. So we have this because we have them as blanks and it's equal to 1 as well. So we can now go back to our dashboard here. I'm going to pick this. Okay, let me pick the one with value so that we can have it. We can be sure of what we have here. So I'm going to get this. So stretch it. So go right here and we go to analysis. So we pick this. Okay, now I'm going to have this one here. So I'll go to the top level here and I'm going to use something red. So exactly like this. So I'm sending this to back, send to back, so that we can have the other one, we can be able to select this one easily. Understand? So let's select this. That disappears and this actually, comes up. You get this right. So this is how we just got this created. So we're not really cool with what we have now. We need to actually format it. Not just that, when this is actually negative, so we want to see red. And when we have a positive number like this, like 28.02%, we want to see green. How do we do this? Very important. This is back again. All right, we have to go back to our analysis here, and this is where we have to make the configuration. So let's just go and have something in selection. I want to select February. So we come back here now. So something is selected. So at the top here, I'm going to type in check. Check. So inside this check, I'm going to put 1% here. 1%. All right, inside this 1%, I will definitely come here now. Okay, I am going to select here. I'm finding a place that will be suitable for what I'm trying to do now. I think here would, because don't worry, you actually understand what I'm doing this. So I'm gonna make a reference to this. So we have this right here. This is what we're gonna actually use to turn the condition we really want. So for now, I'm gonna come here now and type in less, which is gonna be minus. So I'm gonna type up, which is gonna be plus, right? So here now, what I'm gonna do now is gonna be equals sign. So with my equal sign, I want to actually ask if this one here is is less than this. Hit my enter, it's giving me true because it is less than. So now the same thing I've done, I'm going to actually ask if this particular one here is greater than this. So we have false. Can you see what we have right now? All right, beautiful. So the next thing we do is to select this one here. So go to the top ribbon and look at the conditional formatting here. So you go to new role. So we want to use formula to determine what we want. So I'm going to select this. So what I want now is this. I'm going to say if this one here, so which is this cell here, is equals to false. So we want to format it. The font is what we want to format. I want to format the font to red. So let's see. That is true. What happens if that is not true? So we see it return to this. So you can see once we go back here now, so it returns to red. So still have it selected. Go ahead and add a new role. So we just want to say if this particular one here is equals to true, so we want to format it to green. The font to green. So it doesn't. So as you can see, it did not work. That was because we did wrong selection here. Let me show you what we have done. Manage rules. Okay, before we can be able to see it, we have to select this one here. So go to manage rules here. And here we have this one saying if this particular one here is equals to, false, we want to see this, and it's giving us this. And if this one is equals to true, we want to say this, and it's not that. And this is what we want. We want red to be here right now. The red is not actually working. Let us cancel it and go to here and change it to a positive number. I think May gives us positive number. So can you see? It doesn't really work. How can we make it work? Let us change it back to February. The only way to make it work is come back here, select this. Let us go ahead and, go to manage rules and delete all those rules from here. So we start afresh. So we have to come here and say if this one here is equals to false. So I want this to be red. So we select the color, the red color, click on OK, click on OK right here. Then we need to add a new row. So on the new row again, we have to select the same thing if this one here is equals to true. So because it is going to be true, this is actually positive. So now we select the green color for it. So we have two of them. So now automatically it works. Let us go back here now. Change this one to a positive number. It's giving you this green. We want a negative number. It's giving us red. So the next we can do now is just for we to actually go to the top here, go to view and turn off the grid lines. So I just want to bring back the header part of it. So I just want to open it up a bit. So go to the top again and come here. We have to centralize it and we crank it up a little bit. Something like this would be cool, that we pop. So that is nice. So once we've just gotten this done, the next thing we're going to do right now is to make sure we do copy. So once we've copied, we just go to our pivot table and we go back to paste, and we paste as link picture, just like this. So that was the reason why we turn off the grid lines. So I can now get this one off from here. We don't actually need this one here now. So we can have, okay, because we double click on it, so it returns us back here. So once we double click, it's going to take you back to its base. So now we don't need to double click it. All we have to do is just to make sure we just drag it and have it right at this spot. So now you can see what happens once we have positive numbers. So we have it on red. This is the only way you can actually do this. Please let me know in the comment section if you can actually convert this, into a conditional formatting like this without using this particular method I've used. So if you have a shorter form to do this, do not hesitate to let me know. I will be happy for that. So let us double click on this and return back here. So we have to be consistent. Let us go back to the top. So it's on 14. So we have to go here now. So make sure we put this on 14 as well. So we now have this on 14. What we are going to do now to this one is just for we to make sure this is gonna be like this. All right, we have no need of this one any longer. So when we don't select anything, this is what we have as a result. Select from second month to see result. By the time we select February, so we have something huge happening. Well, let's see what that is. Oh, do we have that? Okay, let us open it up. I don't know what is going on. Okay, now it was because of that place is compressed. So we've opened it up for it to show the percentage here. That is nice. So this is exactly what it is that we have. So nothing is being selected. Even though if January is selected, it cannot meet up with what we specified right here. We're still gonna have this one on this particular kind of message. So the moment we start selecting from this is going to give us comparison. So just know that the very month we selected now is what is showing up right here, and we have the previous month, which is February, to be this particular value right here, and the difference between these two numbers is actually 6.88. It dropped and you're seeing it in red. So what about this? So just always try as much as you could to save your work. It's very important.